going to be looking for in these early results.
And that's the polls, certainly income level and voters without a college degree. Because if we see a Brexit, if the polls are off by anywhere from 1 to 3 points, that is to say voters didn't answer pollsters, they didn't admit they were going to vote Trump, it's going to be among those voters, and it's going to be in Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin's a stretch, but maybe Wisconsin. So I'm going to be looking for heavy turnout from that demographic. If they turn out, Donald Trump will be the next president of the United States.
Kirsten, what are you going to be looking for?
Well, I think all of the issues that people raised, but then also looking at the issues, right? So if you ask people what's their top issue, do you want change, or do you, so if they want change, then I would expect them to go with Donald Trump, or are you looking for somebody with the temperament to be president, with Hillary Clinton always wins running away? So what are the issues that are really driving people? On terrorism, they're tied. On economy, he's slightly up. So sort of looking at how these rank in terms of people's priorities.
David, where do you come down on this debate that this idea of hidden white voters, hidden white working class voters, or hidden white voters with college educations who don't answer the polling questions, that they're not really there, that it's an imagination?
Well, we've seen over time in polling going back 50 years, not only in this country but in other countries, that there are tendencies for some voters not to give the answer they think the person is calling on the other end of the line is, especially if it sort of can be offensive in society. So I think there is a possibility of a Brexit-type vote. I do think that you've got to look out for that tonight. Is it a Brexit-type vote, or is it what Dan Pfeiffer's saying, that the coalition sticks together? If the coalition sticks together and the Democrats win the popular vote for the 6th time in the 7 elections, that's historic. And that means the Republicans are on the wrong side of history, and they really need to come back. But if, on the other hand, this Brexit vote turns out, that's a very different reading of where we are politically.
Yeah, I've heard Pennsylvania Democrats, and including former Governor Ed Rendell, said it publicly, that he thinks that there might be a Trump undervote. People not telling pollsters because they feel like they might be judged negatively for supporting Donald Trump, but in the privacy of the polling place, they will vote for him. Do you buy it?
No, I think it's sort of an absurd theory. And if there is, it seems to be like there would also be a hidden Hillary Clinton vote. I mean, I don't think we've seen any evidence that people, think about Donald Trump's rallies. 10, 20,000 people, those folks don't seem shy at all. They're people who love Donald Trump. So this idea that someone would get on the phone and be ashamed of admitting that they like that, it just seems absurd to me.
They also tend to live in the same areas, so they're around people who support Donald Trump. So it doesn't really make sense that.
Well, Mary Catherine, what about the people in the suburbs of Philadelphia or Northern Virginia who might be Trump supporters but don't want to be judged?
I think there can be marginal differences about that. I think anytime polling is within 3 points in a lot of these states, it can be off, and it doesn't have to be because of some giant hidden vote. The other question is, if there is a hidden white working class vote, there may also be a hidden Hispanic vote that's hard to poll. I think that's something that pollsters have not completely figured out yet, so they may balance each other out. But I think in any of these places where it's this close, it can go a different way without some giant underlying story. It's just because the polling is close and we don't know the composition, which we will know more about in just a little bit.
In just a few minutes, but until we do, we have to talk about it. Right? Do you think that there might be a hidden, in the same way that there might be an undervote, a hidden Trump undervote, that there might be a hidden Clinton undervote? In other words, maybe some of these blue-collar women who don't want to advertise that they don't like Donald Trump because they're around a lot of Trump supporters might feel compelled, or maybe some of these blue-blooded Republican women who don't really want to feel comfortable
I'm
with
not a big believer in the hidden vote, so I don't think that's going to be a major factor, but it is true there's a lot of division. Even if you look at the Catholic vote, the white Catholic vote, which Romney won overwhelmingly, and Trump will probably win with a smaller margin. Part of that reason is because white Catholic women and white Catholic men are probably going to split in how they vote.
All right. Thanks, everyone. We're going to take a very quick break. When we come back, more coverage of Election Day. Thank you so much.